Today we're looking at and reviewing the 24-70 f4 Sony E-mount full frame lens, and we're going to break this thing down here in 2019 and find out if it's something that you guys should still be thinking about investing in. Let's go! So today we got our hands on the popular full frame Sony E-mount 24-70 f4. And here's just a few specs as though you'd find on the box or on the website. If you're just getting going started looking at this lens, here's a few things that you might want to know. And if you haven't already, guys, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to see more videos just like this all the time. So let's talk features and build quality. Let's first unbox this thing and see what it comes with. It's pretty minimal. You've got your instruction manuals, a nice little protective carrying pouch, and the lens itself. So it has your typical Sony build in this Zeiss range. It's a solid, good feeling metal construction, and Sony's also graciously supplied us with a nice lens hood. It measures in at 3.75 inches long by just under 3 inches wide, and weighs in at just under a pound, making this a very convenient and versatile size lens. You'll notice that there's no buttons on this lens at all, which means you'll have to go into your camera to access manual focus, as well as turn on and off image stabilization. And on that note, yep, it's image stabilized as well. The zoom function is pleasant and accurate, and does extend the lens as you zoom. The manual focus ring is conveniently right in front of the zoom ring, and is electronically coupled with your camera for quick and precise focusing. This lens has 67mm filter threads and Zeiss's T-Star anti-reflective coating, which minimizes flare. So being a metal build, it also has a nice metal mount, and unfortunately there is a lack of a little gasket or rubber seal, which means it's not properly weather sealed. And this is such a little thing, but an important thing, and I wish Sony would add this to every one of their lenses moving forward, especially when you're paying this much. All in all, for build quality of this lens, it's very good, and I give it 4 stars. So when it comes to value of this lens, there's lots of competition, more and more coming out all the time, and it is very good. It performs well, it's a great versatile size, but at $800 it is pricey. So you're going to have to do the math and find out what's best for you, considering there's things like its older brother, the 24-70 2.8 G Master lens, the 24-105 f4 G series lens, and of course don't forget the third-party lenses, including the incredibly popular Tamron 28-75 2.8. So given its price point and everything that's available, I give the Sony 24-70 f4 3.5 stars. So let's talk performance. And how does it perform? Well, pretty decently. Looking at the autofocus system, it's basically silent, it's fast, it's accurate, and the odd time it does hunt, it recovers very quickly. As far as video is concerned, I really have no complaints. The face tracking is decent, with just the odd hiccup from time to time. If you're not huge into video, I got some good news. The autofocus is even better with stills. On my A7 III, I can confirm that both the animal and the human eye autofocus work perfectly, and this lens is lightning fast to focus in basically any situation. Let's look at a few pictures and see what we think about image performance. Being an f4, the bokeh is decent, but really nothing special. It does have 7 circular aperture blades, which is going to improve the bokeh quality, but definitely not going to be as nice as, say, a 2.8. The contrast is decent, and the sharpness is, well, it's definitely not the sharpest lens that I've used, It does have some issues into the corners, but for the most part, the center is decently sharp. I wanted to touch on this lens's SteadyShot feature. With a lot of the newer cameras having IBIS, I'm not sure if you really need this lens to be stabilized. It's not a telephoto, and I think it's just adding more cost to an already overpriced lens. Having said that, it does work well. Now, I'm not normally concerned with things you can really fix easily in post, but this lens definitely suffers from some distortion. If that's something that's important to you, now you know, but it can be easily fixed with one click in Lightroom. So performance, giving everything that we've talked about here, I give it 3.5 stars. So as promised, of course, here's my list of my personal pros and cons for this lens. And keep in mind, this lens is one of the first lenses that came out for Sony full frame E-mount. It is definitely a few years old. And taking everything that we talked about into account, I give this lens 3.5 stars. I also like to rate things on a scale from never think about again to consider to definitely buy. And yes, I love the size of this lens, the versatility, the focal range, a lot of great things going for it. But unfortunately here in 2019, there's just a heck of a lot of stuff out there that performs better for cheaper. And for that reason, in this case, it's somewhere down the bad end. Well, there it is, guys. Let's leave it at that. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this video helped you out, and if it did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and drop your questions and comments down below. If you're thinking about picking this lens up, there's links in the description as well. And keep an eye out for my other videos comparing this to, say, the Tamron 28-75. And like always, make mistakes, be yourself, and get out there and take some more pictures. See you next time, guys.